ECU.
What? Y'all switched it up.
Well,
Shorty over here.
they probably heard me too. Okay, the student athletes representing the Rhode Island Rams, Jared Terrell, Carolyn Iverson, Hassan Martin, and E.C. Matthews. E.C., let me begin with you. You guys have obviously had the opportunity now to take a look at some tape of Oregon. What are your impressions, and do they remind you of any teams that you've played this season?
We just got a chance to look over their personnel. We probably gonna watch their plays later tonight. We gonna go over their plays live on the court and after this. So they're not. We haven't faced a team like this before. They're very good in isolation. So we really gotta play our defenders and make them shoot hard shots.
Questions?
This is for any of you guys. You guys are all vets at this point, but your freshman guard had a pretty nice game yesterday on a big stage. How has his maturation process throughout the season helped you guys get to where you're at now?
Jeff doesn't, even though he's a freshman, he doesn't play like a freshman. As you can see, he goes at his own pace. He has a great IQ, and it wasn't surprising to me that he had a game like he did. He got good shots, and he got everybody else involved. So.
Question to our left.
For EC, after the ACL tear at the beginning of last year, did you wonder if a day like this could come that you'd be able to come back and be a contributor on a team that could get to the second round of the tournament?
Yeah, that was the goal. It's just the way it happened this whole season and the run we made. I didn't think it would happen this way, but this definitely was in my goals and in our goals as a team. So yeah.
Tony.
Corinne, the Rhode Island Ram fans probably were one of the loudest yesterday. And after the game, Coach Hurley and you guys came over there and waved them. What did that feel like? To have them here to support you and, cheer you guys on.
It feels so good, ever since I got here, they welcomed me, and I feel like I've been, I got a new family now, so, all the support has helped me, on and off the court, and I just keep using it, to motivate me.
For Hassan, both you and Oregon are elite shot blockers. How does that change your approach, knowing that not only you can block shots, but they can come back at you and do the same thing?
Don't really change my approach. I just got to stick with the same thing that I've been doing for my career. They're real athletic, and we're real athletic too. So I just got to still be explosive and attack the rim and be the elite defender that I am against them.
For EC or any one of you guys, do you relish these kind of moments of playing a higher seed, of playing a nationally ranked top 10 team? What does that mean to you guys going into this second round game?
We're happy to be here. We try to treat it as a just playing basketball and nothing more than that. But obviously, it's the biggest stage. But we thrive off of that, being the underdog and playing the best teams in the country, and we just treat it as why not us? Why can't we win? And that's that.
Jared, you guys have gotten off to great starts throughout the A10 tournament and yesterday. What has allowed you to do that so consistently?
Well, one is just our confidence and our defense. We're defending at a high level, and just trusting each other on offense. Just passing the ball willingly, and just be confident in making shots.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Jared, the last time you guys played a Pac-12 team was at Stanford on the NIT.
Mm-hmm.
How much better is your team right now than that team a couple of years ago?
Defensively, I think we're the same team. We both play with grit and desire, but offensively, I think we got a lot more skill and versatility. We can go to a lot more players to score the ball and do different things.
Hassan, have you seen a difference in EC, either his game or kind of how he kind of leads the team since he came back from the injury?
He started off a little slow. He hadn't had his touch and his rhythm But as the season went along, and now it's March, he's playing like the player he was before he got injured, and he's really leading us vocally and on the court. So I couldn't be more proud of him.
Yeah, this is for this is for EC. The other day you talked about how Coach Hurley had taken you to Providence a couple of years ago for the tournament there. How did this experience compare to your trip then?
It doesn't. A year ago I was a fan, but now I'm actually a part of something big and playing in it, and it just doesn't get no better than this. So it's a big difference.
Jermaine Franklin with TSN. Jared, what does it mean to have a guy like Hassan protecting the rim for the entire team?
It's a relief, man. Just knowing that if you do get beat, you got help on the backside. He blocks everything pretty much, man. So you just feel comfortable when you're guarding the ball. You can be as aggressive as you want, and if you do get beat, you know you got protection.
My follow-up is for Hassan. Can you talk just a little bit about the art of blocking shots, and if you can tell a difference in a team's demeanor once you get one or two, if they shy away from coming into the paint?
I feel like blocking shots is like my job here. You know, we play a real aggressive on defense, so guys are bound to get beat, and when they get beat, I'm there to help them. And the demeanor, as far as when I get a couple blocks, I'm definitely become more of a shot alterer than a shot blocker, because they start to fade away or try to do reverses, and they miss them sometimes. So if I don't block them, I'll definitely alter the shot.
EC, you obviously suffered your knee injury at the start of last year. I wonder if you could take us inside maybe what Chris Boucher is feeling right now, a week or 2 weeks out, and just looking at that long rehab that he's got coming up.
You just gotta really take it day by day instead of thinking about long term. It's a long and bumpy ride, but I think it'll make him a better person out of everything. And if he listens to the right people and trusts himself in his body, that he'll come back even better than what he was.
Ellie Lieberman, SB Nation. I was wondering if any of you guys could talk a little bit about what Will means to your team. I know he used to be a manager, and we see him across doing all these celebrations. So what does he mean to you guys?
Will is like the invisible heart and soul of the team. He comes to practice with tons of energy. He's like I don't know. He's just always hyper, always excited to be around and cheer us on. And having him as a walk-on has really helped us. He's just the type of guy you would want on your team. That's not providing you for you on the court, but when it comes to support, he's always there for us.
Any other questions? Kelly?
So EC and Hassan, we have the same hair.
You got the same barber.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could get an appointment, or if you think I should go shorter on the sides.
It's called the South of France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you.
I like your hair.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach Hurley has joined us now. Coach, how are preparations going for tomorrow night's game?
All right, we were able to obviously get out of here yesterday and get a lot of film work in. So the joy and excitement of the win disappeared quickly once we got a chance to watch some of the Ducks games and impressive team, high-powered offensive team, led by a National Player of the Year candidate and Tyler Dorsey, tremendous offensive team and and he posed a lot of problems at the defensive end with the matchup zone and the different things they do.
Questions?
Dan, you obviously had 4 upperclassmen up here with you yesterday, but you also had a freshman in Jeff who had a big game in his first game of the tournament. How was his maturation process throughout the season? Helped you guys get to where you're at, and did you expect him to have a game like that yesterday?
Yeah, obviously a lot of Creighton's offensive or defensive game plan was to take away Terrell and EC and which left I think opportunities for Jeff to make plays. And as far as his development, we take pride in our player development at Rhode Island. We got great coaching staff. David Cox, I think is one of the best assistant coaches in the country. Does a great job with the guards. And then I think with him, it's just he came in ready. This is a guy that comes from a great family, played in a great high school program at St. John's College in D.C. in maybe the best high school league in the country, DeMatha, Paul VI, so high-level league, comes from a great family, high-level student. I mean, this guy has all the attributes, all the qualities of someone that's going to be very, very successful. And because he's such a well-rounded person, he has tremendous confidence.
Coach, with Oregon's Chris Boucher being out, Cavell Bigby-Williams is a player that's got to step up in his absence. Is he somebody you're going to want to test early when he gets in the game?
Yeah, you know what? Obviously, it doesn't hurt much of their defensive, rim protection. Because of his length and athletic ability and size, he's a huge man. Obviously they got the same thing with Boucher. The element that they obviously miss with Boucher is that the 3-point shooting and obviously that other potentially explosive offensive player. But is he going to be put in? Are we going to put him in ball screens tomorrow? Yeah, going to put him in ball screens.
Second straight game against a high-powered offensive team, but is it sort of a totally different attack you're facing tomorrow?
Yeah, these guys are, these are elite level, 5-star, type of recruits here. These are NBA, players. These are first round, draft pick type of guys. Size, explosiveness, the pedigree. They've been in these moments before. They have that type of confidence. They played deep into the tournament last year. Just I think the difference between Creighton and Oregon is their athleticism. The explosiveness. This is, in terms of athleticism, this is as good as you're going to see in college.
Dan, curious if you just happened to be watching the ASU Oregon game last week when it was on in the Pac-12 tournament, and if you saw it live or on the replay, can you take something more from a scout against your brother or get some information from him than you would have against another team?
Yeah, I watched the first half, because we were in the Atlantic 10 tournament, so I wasn't able to see the full game. But it was one of the games that we watched. Obviously, in preparing, when really all you have is a one-day prep and maybe a ballroom walkthrough on Sunday. You've got to go to earlier in the season, watch a game, watch one of their most competitive games, and you take maybe a mid-season game or two, and you lock in on that, and then you try to watch the last, the last couple. In Arizona State was, one of the last couple, so I got a chance to watch, watch Bob, play a really good first half, and then suffer a little bit in the second half there. So, there's some things you could take from every game just based on how many good coaches there are in the Pac-12, and we saw some different approaches that some different teams took. Obviously now, with the injury though, we really tried to focus on what they did those last 2 games.
Steve took my question, actually. Coach, have you had a chance to watch a lot of Pac-12 because of your brother this year? And what's your perception of the conference? And have you talked to Bobby in the last 24 hours or 18 hours about this Duck team?
I probably talked to Bobby in the last 24 minutes about this Duck team. Yeah, I watch a lot of Pac-12 basketball. It's a great league. You know, amazing talent in the league. Obviously, some of the best coaches in the country. You know, so it's you know, it's an up-tempo league. It's a it's a high-flying league. I think, you know, tomorrow it's you know, and they're a good defensive team, and they're rugged and they're tough in a similar way to an Arizona in the Pac-12. I think that, you know, they out-tough a lot of their opponents, you know, in this league from what we watched with their physicality. You know, but they're also dynamic and kind of high-flying, and we're kind of, you know, gritty, resilient, and tough, and you know, it's kind of, you know, two different types of teams tomorrow.
Dan, Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. The last time you played a Pac-12 team was at Stanford in the NIT. How much better is your group going into this game with Oregon than they were a couple of years ago?
Yeah, you know, we remember that game, you know, NIT second-round game. You know, the guys that were our core guys are now juniors and seniors. You know, when we played that game, they were babies. You know, they were freshmen and sophomores. You know, Karan Iverson, I think, was, you know, in the process of transferring in from Memphis. You know, Stan Robinson was, you know, at Indiana, I think, probably bricking threes. And, you know, Jeff Doughton was might have been playing JV ball. You know, so, you know, we're a different team. We have a different maturity about us, a different confidence about us. You know, we're just, you know, obviously just a lot better.
Coach Hurley, guys was up here earlier. They talk as if they just love playing defense. Can you comment on their approach, you know, to playing defense on that end?
I just, you know, I think they understand the connection between playing high-level defense and, yeah, and winning games, you know. And then, you know, when you have success and when you win, you know, that changes your life. You know, when you know, when you win championships and when you get in, when you make the NCAA tournament and when you advance in games, it changes, you know, the careers of these players. It changes the lives of these players. And, you know, and if maximum effort on the defensive end, you know, is gonna enhance our chances of being successful in winning, and if winning is going to help their careers, then it makes sense to, you know, to get out there and guard at the highest possible level. And it also, too, I think it takes a certain type of player to play for me or to play for Hurley. And if you're not committed to play defense, you should not apply to our university or take the text or phone call from me, because it's you know, it's something I was taught from a young age from my dad and my college coach, P.J. Carlissimo.
A lot's been said about your ability to block shots defensively, but you're also statistically very good at not getting your own shots blocked offensively, with Oregon so good at also blocking shots. Is that something you can coach? Or is it just the individual players who are good at avoiding getting their shots blocked? Yeah,
our recruiting, I think, has been you know, underrated in terms of the quality of, you know, of players that we have at URI. You know, E.C. Matthews was a top 75 player in high school. So was Jared Terrell. 4-star players. You know, Hassan Martin was a 4-star player, top 100 fringe player. Karan Iverson, at one point, was a top 10 player in the country. You know, we have very high level talent here to go along with a grittiness, an unselfishness, and a togetherness.
Dan, you're the last A-10 team left in the field. Your thoughts on representing the conference, both as its champion and the last representative here in the 68?
We're proud of that. You know, the Atlantic 10 is a great league. You know, I think it's, you know, obviously one of the top basketball conferences year in and year out. You know, you have a lot of honor in carrying that flag right now. Great coaches in the league, great players in the league, you know, and we hope to represent it well tomorrow night.
Can you talk a little bit about what former student manager and now player Will Leviton means to you guys?
Yeah, Will, you know, Will was a manager last year, and you know, he elevated, you know, from just, you know, he's so beloved by the players. You know, he's a Providence kid. You know, he's from the city of Providence. You know, he worked incredibly hard to get himself, you know, admitted to the University of Rhode Island, and you know, and better his life and get an education at URI. And then one day he appeared to become a manager. I didn't know he had his master plan was to work with our players when he was done with his responsibilities every day, to work on his game so that he could hatch the plan in the preseason of sneaking into the walk-on tryout. And then when E.C. Matthews, Hassan Martin, Jared Terrell, Karan Iverson come over and tell you that they'd like him to be a walk-on, if you're a smart coach, you get him a jersey.
Howie?
Dan, I know the turnaround is obviously very quick, but you mentioned talking to Bobby. Did you have any chance with him to reflect about everything that's happened since you guys started at Wagner, the success you've had, both reaching the tournament and anything like that?
Yeah, we shared some time, you know, last night, and we talked about, you know, not so much, you know, his experience and our experience here in Sacramento and what that was like, but more about, you know, the decision that we made together, you know, 7 years ago when I was a high school coach at St. Benedict's Prep in Newark, you know, and was offered the Wagner job and wasn't sure what to do. You know, my vision for my life was to follow the path of my father, and you know, you know, and Bob pushed me a little bit, you know, and you know, it did a little convincing, you know, to take that job and let's go do this together. And we reflected on that last night and how it's changed our lives and changed the lives of our family. And it was a nice moment. We spent about a half an hour because there was a lot of video to watch.
Yeah, Coach Altman was out here a little while ago, and he mentioned that he's seen a big difference in your team over the last 5 or 6 games. Have you noticed that difference, and if so, what do you attribute it to?
Yeah, I would attribute it. You know, I appreciate Coach saying that. You know, couldn't have more respect for a coach than Coach Altman. We just got healthy. You know, we were injured the whole year. You know, our star player tore his knee up on opening night the year before. You know, our next best player, you know, fractured his patella halfway through last season. And then this year we dealt with a litany of injuries. We just couldn't get healthy. But since we've gotten healthy, you know, we've been the team that people thought we could be in the preseason. So it wasn't a lack of commitment. It wasn't a, you know, a selfishness. It just strictly, it's been just a health thing for us this year. We're healthy now and we're confident.
Dan, in addition to recruiting the players, hiring assistant coaches, you needed to build a support staff here when you got hired. Can you speak to how important some of the folks like Eric Yankowski, Daniel Anthony, people behind the scenes have been, in particular when you have to play consecutive days or have quick turnarounds like this?
Yeah, I mean, if the University of Rhode Island didn't make a decision 5 years ago to really commit to this thing, when we walked in there, it was standard definition television and video cassette tapes, and that was it wasn't that long, and things have flipped completely. Redid the locker room, state of the art weight room facility, upgraded the arena, to a super impressive level, and then the people, being allowed, having the opportunity to put together, a great staff, a high level strength and conditioning coach, great medical people, outstanding, video staff, GAs. That gives you a chance when you couple it with the recruiting, to get to this level, and then we plan on staying at this level. And also Thor Bjorn and the athletic director has done an amazing job putting it together with the support from Dave Dooley and our great fans and donors.
Dan, what do you think maybe the theme of your pregame message will be tomorrow?
I think, you can't think about, being, 40 minutes away from, a chance to go to the Sweet 16. I think we just take it, 4 minutes at a time. We call them wars. We call them 4-minute wars. Let's just go win this next 4-minute war. And not listen. If you focus on just trying to beat Oregon, one of the elite programs in the country, one of the the blue blood college programs is what Dana has turned this thing into here. That becomes this overwhelming task. So for us, it's just let's break this thing down in these 4-minute wars that we're going to play. And let's just try to, irregardless of what's happened in the last 4 minutes, let's just focus on the next 4.
Okay. Coach, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.